Hey, everybody, welcome. My name is Chris Johnstone, and I'm the owner of Connection Incorporated. And in today's session, we're going to teach you how to get mortgage customers from Google. These are the highest quality leads that you can generate from direct-to-consumer advertising. There's 3 ways to grow your mortgage business. Deals from your past customers in your database and your centers of influence, right? Deals from your referral partners, that's your realtors, financial planners, those sorts of things. And then you've got marketing and advertising. And marketing and advertising opens you up to all of these shiny objects that you have around you in your life. Like, should I be running ads on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn or whatever it is? There's all kinds of different people trying to sell you all kinds of stuff. Now, I've been marketing in the mortgage industry for 13 years, and all we do is we generate customers for our mortgage clients. And I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the highest quality lead that you can get from online marketing, and this counts buying leads from services where they sell them to multiple people and all that good stuff. The highest quality consumer direct lead that you can generate in your mortgage business that's not a referral from a past client or not a referral from a realtor partner is somebody who goes to Google in your local marketplace, types in mortgage lender or mortgage broker, whatever it is, sees your business on the front page in the map placement. So you can go right now, go do a search for mortgage lender. That map that shows up on the front page with the 3 or 4 businesses, one of those is an ad, we're going to talk about that today. Those customers that call those businesses, and those calls are happening every single day. Doesn't matter what marketplace you're in, there's somebody today who called a mortgage lender off the front page of Google. And those consumers have good credit, they're well employed, they have down payments, and they want to do something right away. They're looking to close right away. They have a problem that they need to solve, which is why they are searching on Google. When you use all of these other platforms to try and attract leads like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn, all of those, you're identifying a demographic and a psychographic, and you're trying to show your advertisements to those people and get enough of those people that might be in the marketplace at that time in order to see your ad, not be skeptical enough that they're going to respond to it, and then you got to put them through a very complicated funnel in order to get them to respond, right? With this style of advertising, what you're getting is a customer who already knows that they want to speak to a mortgage lender right now. They have a question, they've got a deal that they want to close. And maybe they were referred to somebody else, but they didn't like who they were referred to. Or they don't have somebody that they were referred to and they need an answer to their question. So what do? They grab their smartphone, they go to Google, and they do a search for mortgage lender. They're pursuing you rather than you pursuing them. And that small fundamental change, capturing people at the 0 moment of truth in their buying cycle, is the key to high quality consumer direct leads. We just happen to be using it in the mortgage industry. Now, I'm going to walk you in this presentation through all of the steps in order to get yourself on that front page organically. And what that means is how to set up your online presence so that Google sees you as an authority in your local marketplace and places you in that 3-pack with those businesses naturally. Now, that takes time. It can take 6 months to a year in order to get there. So the other thing that I'm going to be teaching you on today's presentation is how to use a brand new type of advertisement that Google has just launched. It's about 9 months old, and we can now buy our way into the map placement on the front page of Google and start generating consumer direct, very high quality leads in as little as 48 hours if you already have ratings and reviews on your profiles, because ratings and reviews are what actually get the phone to ring. Because if somebody sees a profile that's got no reviews on it, they're not going to call you, right? We're going to go through on today's webinar how to actually generate more ratings and reviews for your profile. So that's what I've got in store for you today. I hope that you're ready, because we're going through a lot of content. Now, if the audio equipment, but I don't have a microphone boom to get it close enough to my mouth. So hopefully our audio's okay, and hopefully our video's okay. You'll notice we are remote. This is our first ever remote event that we're running So hopefully the visuals are okay for you as well. So with that, for those of you that are live with us on Zoom, if you could hit the number 1 and just let me know that you can hear me and that you can see the screen, and we will get right into the presentation today. So just hit me with a 1 just to let me know that you can see everything, and then we will get started. Rima, thank you so much. Christina, thank you. Aisha, awesome. Matt, great to see you here, brother. Hope you are doing well. Okay, we are off and running. So this is the highest quality direct-to-consumer mortgage leads. Now, before I get into today's presentation, I just want to note that if you are a current Connection Incorporated customer and you are in our Google program, this is an outline of everything that we are doing for you. So when we start talking about posting on your Google business page every day, when we start talking about backlinks, when we start talking about all of the things that need to be done, including the ads management, how to set everything up, running the ads, all of that work is being done for you. If you are a Connection Incorporated client that is paying for our Google monthly management program, all of this work is being taken care of for you. It is a phenomenal refresher. And what you need to know is that the most important thing is converting these leads into actual customers. We have a client of ours, his name is Mike Durr. He's out in Kingwood, Texas. I love Mike, he's a personal friend of mine. He does a phenomenal job with this. He tells us that he funds roughly 1 deal out of every 4 phone calls that he gets. That's a 25% lead to deal conversion ratio. And he says that the number 1 thing in getting those deals closed is picking up the phone and just being himself, answering the questions. All of the heavy lifting is done up front. That heavy lifting is done with the ratings and reviews. The greatest thing that you can do to set yourself up for success with generating these leads on Google is going out and getting 5-star ratings and reviews from your past customers. The more ratings and reviews that you get, and I'm going to give you some, I don't want to call them like hacks or ninja strategies or anything like that. It's corny, but like we have a way of getting reviews that are more compelling than any of your competitors, because Google business pages have been around for a while. I've been talking about them in the mortgage industry for at least 8 years now. And so that means that there are competitors in your local marketplace that have 100 reviews or 200 reviews. We have one client of ours, Tyler. Tyler has almost 1,000 Google ratings and reviews, all 5 stars on his profile. So obviously he's going to get the most phone calls. Now you can go into a marketplace and compete with a large competitor that has that number of ratings and reviews if you're able to get very compelling reviews. And what we've discovered in testing with our clients is that getting ratings and reviews from your referral partners, the professionals in your industry, those are your realtors, your financial planners, your lawyers, investment advisors, friends and associates that you have that run local businesses. When you can get businesses to go leave you a 5-star review on your Google profile, those reviews actually hold more weight than a review from an individual customer, because an individual customer getting a mortgage has only gotten 1 mortgage, right? So they're not really an expert in what a mortgage professional should do for them. So when you get a real estate agent that leaves you a rating and review on your profile, and somebody who's trying to choose a lender sees your profile on the front page, picks the one that has the most ratings and reviews, everybody looks at a second opinion, right? Even when we're shopping on Amazon, you're going to look at that second opinion. So they go through and they read your reviews. Now, you may only have 25 or 30, and your competitor has 200. But if you've got ratings and reviews from 2 or 3 local realtors, people read them and go, wow. If the realtors are willing to leave this feedback and stake their professional reputation on this mortgage company, they must be good. I'll give them a call. So it's a way for you to get more phone calls in your local marketplace while you're catching up, while you're getting more ratings and reviews. So pick up the phone every single time it rings and make it a core focus in your mortgage business in 2022 to be getting as many 5-star ratings and reviews as you possibly can on your profile. So I'm going to get into the prepared content here for you, but just remember, if you're a Connection Incorporated customer, we're doing all of this work for you. Your focus is on picking up the phone, taking applications and funding deals, and every funded deal that you get, you turn that into as many 5-star reviews as you possibly can using the Connect to My Leads sequence that we've built for you to go out to your past customers. And then every time you have a professional conversation with a referral partner in your local marketplace, you're leaving them a review and then asking them to leave you a review on your Google profile. That's your main focus. So let's get into it. So first off, we want to go where clients are searching. We all know high quality consumers go to Google to find mortgage lenders. This is one of our clients in Nashville. We have a client on the front page in Nashville. And again, 105 ratings and reviews on their profile. Their two competitors have 24 ratings and reviews and 72 ratings and reviews. So you know who's getting the majority of the customers. Think about that. Nashville, in a market like it is today, blowing up, being on the front page for everybody searching for a mortgage lender on Google. I like to joke that this is the third most powerful referral partner that you can have in your business, because people are going to ask your past customers, right? You want your past customers referring you. People are going to ask the realtor, and then people are going to ask Google. It is quite literally the third most popular referral partner in your marketplace. And as our world continues to go more and more digital, that will become more and more prevalent. I don't want to go too far off script here, but one of the other major benefits to putting the time and the work in on this stuff, because this can be daunting. When I get into the what you need to do to rank organically on Google, there's some nerdy stuff that we've got to tackle. And it's not that I want it to be that way. It's just difficult because it's nerdy stuff that has to be done. That's why we offer to do it for you. But when you look at the number of people that are continuing to use Google, this is a trend, especially for consumer direct, that's not going away. Getting online ratings and reviews, it's not going away. This is something that you absolutely need to put as a core business system today if you're ever going to go get these leads and the highest quality leads that you can generate from the internet. So people are searching on Google. You get your social proof in front of them. Here's another one of our clients in Memphis, Tennessee, ranked on the front page, 155 ratings and reviews on her profile. Wendy, an incredible mortgage professional. And then her competitors, 12 ratings and reviews and 58. This is where we want you to be, right? So look into the future at all the reviews that you're going to generate using the information that I'm going to give you today. And then here's Tyler, who I mentioned earlier, 925 5-star ratings and reviews, who is now technically ranking for his entire state. So you can see at the top here, we've done a search for Iowa mortgage lender, and he shows up on the front page. So you know he's absolutely dominating his local marketplace. And another great benefit to this is when you're marketing in this style, there are advertisers that show up on the front page of Google, but an advertiser cannot buy their way into the map placement, which is where roughly 80% of the phone calls and the traffic go off of the front page of Google when people are looking for a local business like this. And a national competitor like Quicken or any of the other national competitors that you have to compete against when you're buying ads on Facebook, when you're buying ads on Instagram, when you're buying Google ads and just buying the regular ads that go up at the top, you have to compete with national mortgage lenders that have almost endless budgets. Here, Google has kept this space the most efficient type of advertising for our business to get local customers. A national advertiser cannot bid down into this unless they have a local office location in your local market. So the advertising costs are less, the consumers are better, and you get away from wasting money trying to compete against one of these large national advertisers. It's just fantastic. Now, this is a screenshot of one of our clients' accounts where we're doing the management for them. You can see this is 1 quarter's worth of information here. So in the last quarter, that's the last 3 months, they generated 178 direct phone calls into their business. So 30, 60, 90. So almost 2 phone calls a day, just a hair under 2 phone calls a day. But here's the really cool thing about this. This is only tracking the phone calls that come from mobile phones, because Google can only track people on their mobile phone when they see your profile on the front page and they click the call button. So again, these aren't leads that are going into a funnel that are getting like text messages and emails and ringless voicemails to get them to call you back. These are people that are seeing this business on the front page of Google and calling them directly off of the front page. And this is only tracking mobile phone calls. So we estimate that that's roughly half of the phone calls that have actually gone into this business, because the other half of the traffic is desktop. Now, there's a lot more mobile traffic online, but desktop converts much higher. So you'll get a lot more calls, even though you get less people finding your business using a desktop computer. More of those people will actually call you as a result of it, because they're not on their phone in the car, or they're not actually mobile out doing things. They're sitting down with their spouse going, we need to find a mortgage lender. We just found a house. We got to figure out a way to buy it. Let's start calling people. They sit down and it generates more phone calls because it's a more focused activity, right? So we figured that this business has actually generated close to 300 phone calls. That's almost 100 calls a month off of that profile. So this is really cool because, again, there's no funnel. They're direct calls that come to you directly off your Google business profile. Now, this screen that you're looking at right here, this is a breakdown of where the actual traffic comes from. So this is Google telling us, hey, people searched your name, people searched for mortgage-based keywords, or people searched a competitor, right? So if you look at this phrase, direct, this green section here, which makes up about 20% of the traffic in this client's business, only 20% of the people that found them online were searching for their company name or their personal name or whatever it is. And a lot of our customers come to us and that's what they're looking for. Like, hey, when people Google me, I want them to be able to find me on the front page. Well, that's really only 15 to 20% of the leads you can generate, because look at this blue section down here. This is the majority of the traffic. And this is people who find your business profile searching for a category, product, or service. So the people in the blue that are calling into this business, these are the people that are searching for mortgage lender, best mortgage lender near me, mortgage lender in area name, or even people that are searching for mortgage rates, mortgage calculator, and seeing the map and calling as a result of that. So those are people that are doing mortgage specific phrases and finding you as a result of that. Now this yellow section up here, this is called branded. And this is really cool. And this, again, is why ratings and reviews are so important, because when you can get a good number of ratings and reviews in your local marketplace, and you can get reviews from professional referral partners, so when people read them, they go, wow, I'm going to give this business a call. What you can actually do is generate calls from consumers who started their search online searching for one of your competitors. So they get a referral from a past customer of somebody else, or they get a referral from a real estate agent. They go on and they Google that other mortgage company's name or that other mortgage professional's name. You show up in the map placement as a result of them doing a search for one of your competitors. They see your profile with more social proof and better reviews on the profile, and they call you as a result. So this is customers who find your listing searching for a brand related to your business. And look at that. It's more customers and more phone calls than the direct traffic on either your direct name or your business name. So Google is tapping you into the people that are online that are currently looking for another mortgage lender or looking for a mortgage lender through the mortgage search. And that is where the majority of the business comes from and why these leads are such high quality. Now, I wanted to show you this other part. So ranking organically, that's where we're going to get you in that 3-pack placement that you just saw. But again, Google just announced these advertisements where you can run an ad. So this is what it looks like here. The 3 businesses show up on the front page here at the bottom. And then up at the top, there's this little tiny section here that says ad beside where your ratings and review goes. And that's the only difference. But on our side of things, that means that you can get your Google business profile ranking the next day. And when you run ads, as I'm going to show you here in today's presentation, You can choose the geography of where you want your ads to show up. So you can pick the marketplaces where you want to generate direct mortgage phone calls from, only run your ads in those marketplaces, show up on the front page the next day and start getting phone calls if you have enough ratings and reviews. So if you're out there and you feel like you've got a good Google business profile, you've got good ratings and reviews, but you're not getting phone calls at least, daily or every other day from your Google profile, this is something that you can do immediately and start generating phone calls because your profile's ready, you're just not ranking and the traffic isn't seeing you. So ads are a great way to go out and do this. Now, we already touched on this. When you do this correctly, Google becomes your local referral partner. 92% of people that do an online search use Google. A lot of people don't know this, but Zillow gets the majority of their traffic from Google. It's not people going to Zillow.com and then searching for houses. It's people going to Google, searching for houses, going on to Zillow, and then as a result of that. I believe the most recent statistic that I saw, and I'll have to do some digging on this and post a follow-up link on this, but I believe over 70% of the traffic on Zillow starts on a search engine, then ends up on Zillow, then ends up into the lead generation ecosystem that we all know, right? So Google is actually the 900-pound gorilla in the room that's even driving all of that traffic. Why go pay a markup and have a lead that's sold to multiple people across multiple listings when you can go direct to market, get the traffic yourself, get an exclusive lead that's already pre-sold on working with you? Right? I would much rather spend the advertising investing in my brand, but technically your brand, and building up your business. So that's what we're all focused on today. So what makes all this work? First, you need a system for 5-star Google reviews, because that's what get people to call you. It's not necessarily what ranks you on the front page, but that's what gets people to call you. Then you need an optimized Google My Business page so that you actually show up on the front page. And I just misspoke there. It's actually called Google Business now. They just changed the name of it. And then you need to know how to set up your ads in order to get them successful. So that's what we're going to go through here. So at this point in the presentation, if you're distracted, if you're doing multiple things, you're doing email on the side, or go close the office door, get your notepad out. This is where the rubber meets the road. And again, if you're a current Connection Incorporated client who's just on our Connect My Leads software, or you're on one of our other products, again, you can reach out to your account manager, or you can reach out to Frances, Frances, at Connection Incorporated, Frances, Frances at Connection Incorporated, and she can get you all the details on how we can add this to your program. Obviously, all current clients get a fantastic discount on this service. And then if you have this program, we're doing all of this work for you. Okay. So the only thing that you need to be focused on is picking up the phone and getting as many ratings and reviews. We're taking care of everything else. And again, those ratings and reviews, your Connect My Leads system is set up with the campaigns inside of it that are launching out and getting you reviews from the deals that you close and your professional contacts. So the Database Activator, this is a process of reaching out to the easiest to get reviews that you have available to you in your business. It's the customers that you've already done business with. Now, I know many of you already have platforms in place provided by corporate that are going to go out and get you reviews on a third-party platform, or potentially Zillow or Yelp, or there's a lot of other people that are trying to get you to send reviews to their platform. Why? Reviews are arguably a currency in the online market space. And if they can get you convinced to leave your reviews on their platform, you're helping to drive their SEO. You're helping to drive their brand, right? So you want to drive your brand. We all know Google has the majority of the searches. We just saw that, right? So you want to port all of your reviews to Google until you are absolutely 100% dominant in your local marketplace. Nobody can touch you with the quality or the number of ratings and reviews. Then you can look at some of these other third-party services that you can put reviews on, like Zillow and that sort of thing. But again, Zillow, you're giving those reviews to your competitor, right? Zillow is going to get into the mortgage industry. Why would you go promote that when you can build your own foundation and go consumer direct? So this Database Activator process goes either in tandem with the existing rating and review process that you have in your mortgage business right now, or this is something, if you haven't done it already, that you're going to launch out in your business. Now, the Database Activator is a way for you to get paid and generate deals while you're generating your ratings and reviews. Because if we're going to reach out to your past customer database to generate reviews, we may as well also generate referrals and build rapport with those past clients and ask them to send you more business. So this is a 4-step process. This is where most people get wrong and they don't get results, is they just send an email out to their past clients and think, okay, that's done, right? I sent my email asking for reviews. Well, email open rates arguably are dying even faster than people say they are. If you can get more than 15 to 20% of your past customers to actually open an email from you, you're crushing it. I've seen many mortgage businesses that rely entirely on email for all of their database communication. And when you open up their email server and actually dive into the statistics of what their open rate actually is on the emails that they send, it's in and around the 10% range. So think about that for a second. If you have 100 past customers, you send 100 emails out to your clients and you have a 10% open rate, that means that 10 of your customers out of 100 actually opened the email. Now, a smaller percentage of those people will actually read it, and a much smaller percentage will actually action on it or do anything with it. The Database Activator is a way for you to actually generate a result from your database by having the majority of the people see the message and giving it to them in a format that they want so that they will actually respond to it. So this process is reaching out on 4 different communication channels, because some people like email. Most people like text messaging. Some people really like talking on the phone. So we're going to get all 3 personality types through this process. And it sounds like a lot of work, but keep in mind, we're using our Connect My Leads software in order to implement this campaign. So you don't necessarily have to do any of the work. You just load the campaign up, load your contacts into it. The software does all of the sending. All you have to do is respond to people when they come back and say, hey, I've got a referral for you, or hey, we're thinking about buying a house, we'd like to talk with you, right? So on day 1, you make a phone call to your past customer database. Now, our Connect My Leads software has a power dialer in it. That means that you can load in the list, click the button, and it just makes the phone calls to all of the people in the list. Now, you sit there with your headset on and you're working away on other things. Most people don't pick up the phone. If you call, let's say 50 past customers, I don't recommend calling any more than 50 past customers or putting any more than 50 contacts into the system at any given time, because the response back you have to have good customer support when you're running this process. So you don't want any more than 50 people at a time, because the responses require immediate feedback, and this can get overwhelming really quick. Often, I shouldn't say often, but we've had multiple instances of clients turning it on with more than 50 contacts in it and being like, how do I shut this thing off? We need to pause this until we're properly prepared in order to take all these referrals. So on day 1, you call them using the power dialer. And the reason why we use the power dialer is you can get through a lot of calls really quickly, but also the software sees who picked up the phone and who didn't. So if they pick up the phone and you have a conversation with them, nothing else happens, because you've had the conversation, you use the call script, you get the referrals. If you didn't connect with them, it automatically puts them into a follow-up sequence where they then get the next messages. So this is just a screenshot of the power dialer at work. This is the script. We'll go through this in just a second. But after the call is made, there's a text message that goes out the next day. After that, 1 day later, there's an email that goes out. And if they don't respond to either of those messages, on day 4, there's a Ringless voicemail where you've recorded a message to your past clients and you've sent that out to your past clients. So that process touches them on all fronts. Most people will respond back via text message. If you're not sending text messages to your past clients, you're missing out on the majority of the response. So this is the template. I wanted you to have this. Feel free to screenshot this and use this in your business. But this is the process of getting as much juice out of the squeeze as we possibly can. So what we're doing is we're accomplishing multiple things within this one call and this one campaign and this one script. So basically, Ring, ring, the client picks up. Hey, client name, this is Chris calling. I know it's been a while since I last reached out, but I'm calling because I wanted to see how you're doing. How are you? And the reason for that is to start the communication with that client from a level of service and actually reaching out and being a human, helping another human being. Like, you did business with me. I care about you. I want to know how you're doing. How are you and your family? And actually having a real conversation with these people. It's not just like, yo, you need a refinance yet? And you would be surprised at how many people are calling with that style of script. So we're leading with, hey, I care about you. We have a relationship. Because later on in the conversation, it is the relationship that leads to them referring you their friends, their family, their coworkers, and all of the other people that they know on social media when those people need to get a mortgage. It's a relationship-based referral system, right? So we ask them, how are you? They will tell you. Most people will be very abrupt and very brief. Like, I'm good. Hey, cool. Thanks for calling. You say, look, there's a ton of news right now about the economy, interest rates. Fed's going to be raising interest rates. They've made an announcement about that. Do you have any questions that I can help you with? Right? Because everybody's talking about the housing market. Everybody's talking about interest rates. So you're just asking, you've heard all this news. How can I help you? They say, no, I'm good. I don't have any questions. You say, great. You're not thinking about making a move? No. Don't need a refinance? No, I'm good. Okay, great. We're running a test right now in our business to see what happens when we get as many 5-star reviews as possible, or when we get 5-star reviews on Google. Would you be willing to help me out with that today? And there's a couple of really important prompts in there, but would you be willing to help me out is inferring the relationship, again, between you and the client. And then when you say today, it gives it a deadline of when you want that person to potentially help you with it. Now, you should have a follow-up text prepared to send out to this person with your Google business link in it so that they can click the link. It automatically shows up, and all they've got to do is tap the 5 stars, punch in the rating and review, and off you go. So that is that part of the script. And then at the end, it says, thank you. Our business is built on your referrals, so please don't forget to send over the people you care about when they're looking to buy, sell, or refinance. And we are planting the seed because this database activator should be going to your database 4 times a year. And then we have other strategies within Connection Incorporated where we're retargeting your past clients with ads so that they're continually reminded to send you referrals. So again, that's your call script. You call them on day 1. If you do, talk to them. That's the script that you use. Then there's a text, there's an email, and a ringless voicemail that goes out after that. This stuff works. You want to reach out to your past customer database. Connect My Leads just helps you do it faster and easier, right? So this is Gilbert, one of our clients. He called 51 past contacts, spoke to 11 people. Then he came back, added another 28 contacts and spoke to 6 people. He picked up 2 refinances and 1 purchase deal in just 4 days. Talked to people he hadn't spoken with in over 5 years because at that point he was not doing database marketing. And this does not count the ratings and reviews that went on the Google business profile as a result. So this is quite literally you going out, getting deals from your past customer database and getting paid to build the ratings and reviews that you need on your Google profile so you can get even more consumer direct business. It's like a big wheel, a big cycle of awesomeness in your mortgage business. Now, this next strategy that I'm going to teach you is called the reciprocity trigger. And this is going to get you even more reviews on your profile, but also referrals. So this is all about you going out to your referral partners. These are typically your realtors, but this also works with financial planners, real estate lawyers in your local marketplace, anybody that you can think of that's in your local market. So the best review that you can get is a review from a professional. So obviously anybody that you're doing business with right now, you've currently done a deal with them in the last 6 months to a year, or you're currently in a transaction with them. On either side, either the buy side or the sell side, this works on either one. What you do is you leave them a review on your profile. Now, this also works if you want to introduce yourself to new realtors. So everyone here knows I'm a huge fan of the Mortgage Marketing Animals and Carl White and his group over there. I believe that everybody should be a Mortgage Marketing Animals member. And then when your career is ready for you to step to the next level, you should be a member of the Freedom Club. I cannot recommend that program enough. They have a process within the membership at the Mortgage Marketing Animals that they call Thor's Hammer. And I'm not going to do it justice here, and I don't want to give away too much of the strategy, but when you go through the process that they teach you to go through, you end up with a list of perfectly qualified real estate agents in your local marketplace that are doing a certain amount of volume that jive with you and your business and your life, so that you know you're going to have a good referral relationship with that person. Well, that perfect partner list, an interesting way to go out and get those people to pick up your phone calls or respond to the messaging that you're sending out to them, is to go to their Google business profile and to leave them a 5-star rating and review and talk about the wonderful things that you've heard about them in the industry. And if you've done a deal with them on either side of the transaction, that's a great time to be able to put that 5-star review in there. Now, the great thing about this is Google will actually notify that person that that review went on their profile. They'll send them a text notification if they've got Google My Business on their phone. It will also email them that they've received that review and your name is right on it. So they get notified. Google makes sure that that person sees that they got a rating and review on the profile. And they go, oh, wow, that's awesome. That's nice. They get the positive endorphins and all that stuff from getting a 5-star review on their profile, especially if they've only got 5 or 6 reviews on their profile. It makes a big impact. Then that gives you a reason to reach out and it gives you a reason to contact them. Now, if you're already doing business with them, it's a great way to say, oh yeah, hey, I went out, I left you a Google review. It's something that we're doing in our business that we're looking to get more of. Would you mind leaving me a rating and review on my profile? And that reciprocation is a whole lot easier to ask for rather than, hey, would you go leave me a rating and review on my Google business profile, right? So once you leave that review for that person, we have a follow-up campaign inside Connect My Leads for outreach to your professionals after you've left them a rating and review. So you just take them, you drop them into that campaign, and it starts reaching out to them. And then as you make those connections with those people and as they leave you the ratings and reviews, let them know that your team is available to help run pre-approvals over the weekend while you're asking for that review. So it's just an interesting way for you to go out and get more professional connections and do it in a way that nobody else is doing it in the marketplace right now, and provide value up front to that referral partner. And then at the end, you're getting the 5-star rating and review from a professional that you need in order to convert more consumer direct business. So that's going out to your past customer database and getting reviews, going out to your referral partners and getting reviews. Now we're going to talk about automating the process that goes on the back end of your mortgage business so that you're getting more reviews from every single deal that you close. And we call this ongoing automated reviews. And this is the key to winning your market long term, because if you're not automating the follow-up with your past clients to get the reviews, you're missing out on the largest growth opportunity, because your database is a one-time pop, and you'll continue to get some as you do it every quarter, but the majority of the people that will leave you a review will do it up front, and then there's kind of like a law of diminishing returns on that. Realtor partners, there's only so many in each individual marketplace that you can go after. So having this automated process on the back end is the one that continues to build up. And just think about it, talking about the big wheel of awesomeness, right? When you do all of the database activator work and you get those customers go back into this ongoing automated review process where you're asking them for a review, they leave you a review. That review goes on to Google. Somebody else sees it, they call you, they get a mortgage from you. They become a client, they go into the follow-up of the ongoing automated reviews, and they leave you a review. That review helps you get another consumer direct customer who then goes into this process and leaves you a review. So you're continually cycling new customers into the business, generating more reviews from your past customer database at all times through the Database Activator, and your reviews are going from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to eventually, come on, Tyler Osby is a phenom, right? It's going to be hard for some of us here to get over 900 ratings and reviews on our profiles, but you only need 40 to 50 ratings and reviews, and that's crushing it to make a significant impact and potentially double your mortgage business with just that little amount of ratings and reviews. Because again, even though some of the superstars have really kind of taken off in some of these marketplaces, most mortgage professionals are completely ignoring this opportunity. It is still a blue ocean for us. So inside Connect My Leads, our software, we have a tool that connects to your Google business profile. So if somebody leaves you a rating and review, it stops the follow-up campaign from reaching out. And in order to get that campaign running, all you have to do is take that deal that you've closed, put that person's contact information click the big green send review request button that's in the software, and you're done. All of the messages are pre-programmed in. We help you customize them inside the software so that they've got your email signature and they've got your link to your Google profile in them. And it just continues to follow up for 6 months after the transaction in order to get them to leave you that rating and review. When they leave the review, the system shuts off so that you're not annoying that client. But it's a great way to generate even more ratings and reviews that you've got. And yeah, messages stop when the reviews come in. Man, it's almost like I made these slides. I know what's coming next. So now let's talk about getting calls from Google. The first thing that you need to do is optimize your profile. So head on over to business.google.com, and on the left-hand side, you can see this big menu. You literally need to go item by item, click on each one, go through the settings that are on the main part of the profile and fill out everything. They're going to ask you for business categories. They're going to ask you for product descriptions. They're going to ask you for your hours of operations. They're going to ask you to sync your calendar. They're going to ask you to sync your texting so that you can get texts from clients on the front page of Google. You literally need to go step by step through every single one and fill them all out. Your settings need to be 100% complete in order for Google to start to move you up the rankings. An incomplete profile won't move. The next thing is respond to your reviews. When somebody takes the time to leave you a rating and review, you need to, as soon as you possibly can, go back and respond to those reviews in real time. Little pro tip, use the word mortgage lender in your response to the client. So what we've discovered is that Google is actually looking at the words that are in the reviews that your clients leave for you and the review responses that you give back to the client. Mortgage lender is the #1 keyword that you want to be driving traffic for in your business because it has all of the other subcategories underneath it as far as like refinancing, reverse mortgage, all of those subcategories are grouped under the mortgage lender category. So when people say, hey, it was great that we used you as our mortgage lender, and you respond back and say, it was wonderful being your mortgage lender. It sounds kind of corny, but in your responses back, if you put the word mortgage lender, you will rank higher on that particular phrase, which is the phrase that generates the majority of the traffic. So make sure you respond to your reviews and add your main keyword in the review response when you put it out there. Here's another big one. This is underrated by almost everybody. And we see many profiles that have a ton of ratings and reviews that are still sitting on the front page that aren't taking advantage of this. And we can actually move your business higher than theirs in the rankings, even though you have fewer reviews and fewer optimization on your profile, just by recency and frequency of content on your Google My Business page. Everybody in the mortgage industry is trying to find a solution to posting content on their Facebook profile, and their Instagram profile, and their LinkedIn profile, and everybody's forgetting about Google Business. Google Business allows you to post a status update just like LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or any of the other social media networks, but hardly anybody is doing it. So, simple workflow change. When you're posting content on Facebook or Instagram or any of the other social media networks, make sure you are also posting it on your Google Business profile. Another pro tip for you here, Google scrapes the metadata off all of the photos that you post onto the Google Business profile. So rather than using stock photos off a stock photo site like most people do, make sure that at least once a month, and do it on every post if you can. You should be posting at least once a week. Make sure that you're going out into your local marketplace and taking a photo with your phone and uploading that photo and make that part of your status update. The reason why is that your phone encodes your location data when you take a picture on your phone. When you upload it to Google, it uses it as a pin locator to determine what your service radius is around your business location. So if you want to get more phone calls from a larger area, take photos from the surrounding areas when you're in them, right? Take pictures of landmarks, take pictures, if you have multiple offices, that's great. But take pictures of local landmarks, things that people will recognize in the marketplace, upload them as status updates. But what you're really doing is you're building this story for the algorithm and the artificial intelligence to look at, to be like, oh, hey, look, This business is going around meeting with customers at all these locations. I can give them more rankings in a larger marketplace because this is the marketplace that they serve. And they pull that information from the metadata on the photos they upload. I know I said there was going to be some weird techie stuff that went along with the presentation. And again, if you're one of our clients, all you have to do is take that photo, send it to your account manager. We take care of everything else for you. Okay. So again, pro tip, post those weekly photos. The final thing, and I stressed this at the very beginning before we got started for those of you that are clients here, pick up the phone when it rings. Okay. This is something that I'm not particularly pleased with Google, although I'm a huge fan, right? But Google makes it so that your name, your address, and your phone number and your email that are on your Google business profile, it has to match all of the other business profiles and all of the other citations and all the other backlinks, for lack of a better phrase. They all have to match. So if your Google business profile says your business name, your phone number, your email address, and then Yellow Pages says something different and White Pages says something different, and your Yelp profile says something different, you won't get any ranking increase. All of it has to be the exact same. And there's services out there, and White Spark is a semi-decent one, but if you stop paying them, they take everything down. So it's kind of like, man, we do all of our directory submissions manually with real people going to the website so that they never disappear. And that's super important long-term. But if your phone number is different on your Google business page from all of those NAP submissions, which is name, address, phone number submissions across the internet, you don't get the ranking increase. And that means we can't use a tracking number on your Google business profile because that number also has to match what's on your website. So that means that it is your main office phone line. Many of our clients will have some type of phone tree system in place in their business. So somebody calls their main office line. When it picks up, it's like, hey, dial 1 if you want to submit a mortgage application, dial 2 if you want to talk to processing. Unfortunately, it is my recommendation that you get rid of that system and you replace it with a human being that's backed up by a call center or an answering service that picks up the phone every single time. Your phone should not ring without a real person picking it up and talking to whoever it is on the other side of the phone. The reason being, somebody who's doing their search online and they're going to Google, they feel like they have a plethora of options. It's the internet. You can literally pull out your smartphone, Google who's the best mortgage lender near me, and get a list. There's literally 14 businesses on the front page that they can take a look at, only 3 in the map placement. So you get that call, but if you don't pick it up and you don't take that opportunity when it's presented to you, what are they going to do? They're going to hang up the phone. They're going to call the next person in line, which again is a phenomenal opportunity for you, because if your competitor who has the most ratings and reviews is driving people to a call tree and you're the second best option, you're picking up the phone, you get those deals, right? So you should absolutely 100% put the systems and processes in place in your business in order to pick up the phone every single time it rings, because these people are ready to go right now. They want to submit a mortgage application. They are a high quality borrower, so they can get approved pretty much wherever they go. You want to be the one that gets that business. So make sure you pick up the phone. And then the second half of that is know your statistics. At the end of at least every month, you can go into Google and pull the call tracking report of all of the people that have called you on mobile. Keep track when people call you and say, how did you hear about us? I saw you on Google. Great. Mark that down in your CRM. So at the end of the month, you pull from your CRM, okay, how many people told us they called us from Google, and then pull the mobile tracking report, which shows you every single mobile phone that called you, and then map those back to the applications that you took so you can tell how much of your business is actually coming from Google. This is very important once we start running ads, because you need to be able to calculate your return on investment. For every $1 that you put into advertising, how many dollars did that advertising return? Now, in my professional experience, And this varies market by market, but I know everybody watching this presentation is going to be like, Chris, how much do I have to spend in advertising in order to generate a customer? And it's very difficult in order for me to answer that question, because California is going to be completely different than Iowa. And every business is going to be different, because the number of phone calls that you get is dependent on how many ratings and reviews you actually have on your profile, right? Businesses that have less reviews get less phone calls, so it costs more to generate a phone call. But if we were to average it out, and what we're looking at with a lot of our clients right now, is we're investing around $40 to $50 every time the phone rings from one of our advertisements. That doesn't count the organic stuff. When you get ranked organically, those phone calls are technically free. But if you're not ranked and we're using advertising to get you that immediate response and those immediate calls, budget on $40 to $50 a call. It might start a little bit higher with that, but our optimization team is phenomenal at driving those costs down. It's completely normal for us to start with a cost per lead and get it down to about half of that in less than a 90-day window. Our team's fantastic at the optimization on these accounts. And then what that gives you is the number of leads that you can generate. Now, previously I told you about our client Mike, and he funds 1 out of every 4 to 5 phone calls that he gets. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that number, we're going to double it, because we want to get like an average number roughly for our clients. You should be able to fund 1 out of every 10 direct phone calls that comes to you as a result of these Google ads. Now, again, you got to be running your Google ads correctly. If you just go into, so Google has a section inside Google Business. So if you go to business.google.com, there'll be an icon up at the top that says like run an ad, right? Those are called smart ads. You don't want to run that style of ad, because you're going to get phone calls for all different types of weird stuff, like people looking for credit unions and people looking for not debt consolidation, but like payday loans and stuff like that. Because those smart campaigns, you can't input keywords into it. It's just like, I'm in the mortgage business, drive me traffic. And the artificial intelligence just goes crazy on all the different keywords that it stuffs in there. What you want, and what I'm going to show you here in just a second, is you've got to go to Google Ads and build a specific type of Google Ads campaign in order to show up, and then only use a very small section of keywords. I'm going to give you the keywords that we use here in just a second, but you start with those keywords and then you tinker with it so that you're really only getting the high quality stuff. If you're doing that in the background and you're getting good quality calls from actual mortgage borrowers, you should be able to fund 1 out of every 10. So let's say we go on the high end, we're investing $50 for every call. For every 10 phone calls, you're funding 1 loan. That means that you should be around $500 in money invested in order to acquire a mortgage deal. Now you have all of your other associated costs in the business that goes along with it. But if we just look at like advertising spend to return on investment, that's what it would be. Roughly $500 in invested ads is 1 transaction. Now, again, if you're closing loans in upper state New York, your loan value is going to be a lot different than if you're closing loans in Southern California. So how much your return on investment is as a result of that is going to vary, right? Chances are you're going to pay a lot more to generate a call in California, but you're also going to sell a home that's worth a lot more, so your commission is going to be higher, right? So looking through the math. And again, if you're looking at this presentation and you're thinking like, I would like to know roughly what that cost per lead is going to, we can hop on the call with you and discuss what your competition is in your local marketplace and what that looks like for your particular marketplace. Again, you can reach out to Frances, Frances, at connectionincorporated.com. That's connection with no S, connectionincorporated.com to get information on that. And I'll have some information for you at the end of the presentation here. So pick up the phone and know your stats, because that's what you use to calculate your return on investment and how much money you're bringing in as a result of the money that you're investing into the organic and the paid ads. Now we're going to talk about setting up your paid advertising, and this is turning on your lead faucet, because once you get a campaign actually up and running, that's what it is. It's a faucet. You can turn it up, you can turn it down. Your lead flow is dependent on how much money you place in advertising. And again, you can, if you got a big shop and you got 5 loan officers and you're the branch manager and you just want to, crank a phone call a day into that, you can, right? If you're a single producer and you get halfway through the month, you're like, I cannot breathe, shut this thing off. I got to wait 15 days till I turn my funnel back on. Great, no problem. You can do that. Go, let your account manager know, or go into your own account and just shut the ads off and then turn them back on. So total control over the lead gen of the highest quality consumer direct leads that you can generate. So these are Google My Business ads. You go to ads.google.com. So not business.google.com, ads.google.com. You click on the big plus sign to create your campaign, and then you're going to create a local campaign. So there's a bunch of tiles that'll show up at the top. You choose local, then you click use my Google business locations. Now, if this setting doesn't show up for you when you're about to run your Google ads, it means that you need to connect your Google Ads account to your Google business account. Again, we're getting into some technical stuff. I can't spend too much time in the weeds on this. There's a section up at the top that says integrations in your Google Ads account. Click integrations and go through the steps that Google gives you in order to connect your Google business account and your Google Ads account so that they can talk together, so that you can run a Google ad that places your Google business account on the front page of Google. So that integration has to be done in order to run these types of advertisements. So then you choose your location, you deselect, so bidding, don't worry, just set the bidding how it is automatically in the settings. Select call clicks, because that's what we want phone calls, and then turn off driving directions. You don't want to pay every time an existing customer uses your profile to get map directions to where you're going, and those are very costly. So those can eat your budget up really quick. So we want to set those direct phone calls up and then target your location. This is where I told you you could go into specific parts of your marketplace and generate calls from specific marketplaces that you want. So you go into the Google Ads settings, you choose the locations that you want to run your ads in. Then it's going to ask you for your keywords. I gave you a shortcut here. So we want to use mortgage calculator, mortgage rates, mortgage lender, mortgage broker, loan officer, best loan officer, refinance, and then all of your competitors' names as keywords in your campaigns. And again, start with those. You can branch out if you need more traffic after that, but those will bring you in the highest quality searches and the highest quality consumers up front. Again, track your results and your closings so you know what your return on investment is. So I realized that was a little bit like drinking from a fire hose, but that's what it takes. And here's what we covered today. So your system for getting 5-star Google reviews. We walked you through a process to get more reviews from your database, more reviews from your professional referral partners, and a process to put in place so that every deal you close generates a 5-star review for you on the back end. We talked about all of the settings and everything that you need to do in order to get your Google business page showing up on the front page of the search engines, and we showed you how to set up advertisements in order to actually generate a fast result of people calling your business and your system to convert your leads. Now, here are the hurdles that most mortgage professionals face when they get into this stuff. First off, it's technical and it's complicated. We get that. That's why Connection Incorporated exists. We're a digital marketing agency just for the mortgage industry so that you don't have to worry about the technical stuff. We are the who that solves that problem for you. So there's two ways to go about it. You can figure out how, or you can figure out who. If you're looking to turn really high quality consumer direct leads on in your business, we are the people that can do that for you. It's the only thing that we do is work with mortgage agencies. So we'll get you over all the technical stuff, right? Now, the other hurdle that most of them face is no follow-up and no consistency with their past customers. We solved that with the Database Activator. No systems for realtor referral partners. We solved that with our professional referral program. And no consistent and reliable flow of leads and deals. And we solve that with advertising, being able to turn it up and turn it down as you need leads in the business, but making sure that we're tracking those and making sure that it's profitable, right? So those are the majority of the hurdles. So if you're here today and you're like, I think I can do this on my own, awesome. If you've gotten through the presentation and you still feel confident that you can do it, have at that. We've got everything in this presentation and we are going to be sending out a recording for you so that you can do it. But if you're a current client and you're thinking, man, I would really like to add this Google thing to my program with Connection Incorporated, obviously we've got a phenomenal discount for you and we can do all of this with you. So in our program, actually, before we get into this, because we're transitioning to the pitch, right? And so here's the thing, we can help you. We're really good at it. There's a cost associated with it, and I'm just going to lay out what the cost is. But before we get into that, do you have any questions? Is there anything that I can help you with? If there is, just go ahead, type those into the Q&A panel. If you're on Facebook watching this, you can just leave a comment below. I won't be able to answer it in real time, but I will see the comment underneath the video, and myself or one of my team members will answer your question and make sure that you are well taken care of there. So it doesn't look like we have any questions right now. But if you do, just fire those into the chat and I'll make sure that those get taken care of. And I realize it can take a couple of minutes to get your questions typed out into the chat panel. So no problem at all. And again, if you want to just like hop on Zoom and ask the question live, happy to do that as well. So I'll share with you the investment in order to get into the program here, and then we'll wrap up if we have any Q&A after that. Okay, so what you're getting when you invest in this program with us today is we give you full access to our Connect My Leads CRM with all of the campaigns pre-built that you need for all the campaigns that we discussed today. So the Database Activator, the campaign that reaches out to your realtor partners, and the campaign that reaches out to your past customers, all of those are pre-built for you, and an account manager will get on the phone with you one-to-one on Zoom and actually walk through setting up all of those campaigns for you. So you don't have to know the software and go through this massive learning curve. We're literally going to get on a Zoom with you and walk you through the point, or walk you to the point where the campaigns are ready, you've customized them, and they're ready to go. We walk you through the whole process. You're going to get a perfect Google profile. So we're going to go through, we're going to overhaul your existing Google business profile. If you don't have one, we're going to set it up, register it for you, and get it set up perfectly. We're also going to take a little bit of a look at your website and just do an SEO audit of your website, because if there's major SEO issues with your existing website, that's something that we need to clean up in order to help move your Google business profile. All of that work, if there's associated work that needs to go ahead on your website, we include that in the program. There's no additional charges for any of the optimization that needs to be done. We identify what it is, and if it's going to hold us back from getting you a result, we take care of that for you. If you have a third-party web developer, we'll work with them. If it's a corporate website, we'll work with them. We take care of all the communication, and normally we don't have to do much, but sometimes there's an issue and your account manager just takes care of all the communication for you. We just CC you on everything so you know what's going on. The next is the complete ad setup. We go into your Google account, we connect your Google Ads program with your Google Business program. We put all the keywords in, we read all the advertisements, we set everything up properly. Then you get a bi-weekly report from your account manager on how your campaigns are performing. If you have any questions, we're happy to hop on the phone with you and walk you through the whole thing. It's us managing it for you, but keeping you appraised of everything that's happening. And then once a month, we send you a full overview of what's happened in the program, and we request feedback from you. This is very important. If you are a client with Connection Incorporated, we ask you to give us the results back of how many applications that you took and how many deals that you funded as a result of being on the program. That's very important to your account manager, because your account manager has to report to management on how many deals they're generating for their clients, right? So when you say, I'm too busy, I can't get you that information, you're actually kind of shooting your account manager in the foot, because they get heat on the other side of things because they don't have the stats that they need to be able to present on their monthly meeting that they have with their management. So we set up the ads for you, we manage them, and then we track the results with you to make sure that you're actually getting a positive ROI on your investment. And then better results. Your account gets work done every single week. And then again, we report that back to you. We are moving you up the organic rankings at the same time that we are running all of your ads in order to generate a result for you. So when you invest today, you get a one-on-one launch call, you get a 4-part training with myself on just database marketing, referral partner marketing, local Google traffic, and then advanced Google ads. And then fully customized Connect My Leads CRM software, which we're going to set up for you and walk you through. And then the full Google business setup and optimization. That includes management of your account, where we're creating all of the content, the weekly posts for you, the photos. If you take photos in your local marketplace and send those to us, we create those into new posts and put those on your profile. And then we take care of all that NAP submission stuff that I talked about with all the backlinks and the hyperlinks and all that good stuff. Fully optimized Google Ads setup, and then monthly ads management and optimization. Now, here's what this will do for you. This is going to generate an immediate influx of deals from past clients while building up your ratings and reviews. And I designed this as the first thing that we help you implement in the program, because this pays for your entire upfront investment in the program and at least a couple months of management just by the deals that you generate by reaching out to your past customer database, right? So just there, you're completely covered. It even gives you the money that you need to fund the advertising budget and get your ads up and running. Because if we go out to your database, let's say you got a database of 100 past customers, there should be 3 to 5 deals that come out of your past customer database of us just doing the Database Activator to kickstart your ratings and reviews, but also generate deals out of your past customer database. So we help you launch that campaign in your business. It gives you a reliable automated system for getting reviews on every deal that you do. It generates more deals from existing referral partners and sets up new relationships with new referral partners for you. Gets you the highest quality local online leads possible. Gets direct phone calls from borrowers that are finding you on the front page of Google. No complicated funnels necessary. It gives you a lead faucet that you can turn up or turn down depending on what you need in your business. And it expands your client acquisition area so that you can be generating phone calls and more customers from a broader range. Well, you know what happens when you get more customers from a larger area, you get referrals from a larger area, and your business overall grows from a larger market. So more deals from more customers. It will also help you recruit more quality team members to your team, because you can say in a recruitment meeting, hey, why don't you just Google Mortgage Lender? Wouldn't you like to work with the organization that's able to provide you consumer direct leads from the front page of Google? It's a massive value add in your presentation to the new loan officers that you're looking to get to join your team. Drives leads to your business from your competitors. We talked about that. Builds your brand locally and converts more of the referrals that look for you online. So if you've got realtor partners that are referring you business, those people are still skeptical, right? When they Google your name, see you on the front page and see all these wonderful ratings and reviews, you get to win more of the referrals that are being sent to you by your referral partners, because your Google business profile is helping to convert that. It gives you control over the growth and income in your business. Look, we just came out of a phenomenal refi season, right? Like, hands down, I think the biggest problem in the mortgage industry in the last 2 years is we couldn't find enough people and we just couldn't process fast enough, because you could shake a stick and get refinance deals, right? I will digress on the conversation of what a healthy mortgage business is on purchase versus refi and all of that wonderful stuff. But what I will tell you is that consumer direct is going to be very important in the next year to 2 years. Times are changing, right? We've all experienced phenomenal growth, and I want you to be able to experience that growth moving forward. I don't want rates to tick back up and all of a sudden you just can't commit or take care of the commitments and obligations that you've put out there on building a team and all those wonderful things because the lead flow's dried up. This is the pathway to the highest quality consumer direct leads that you can turn up and down like a faucet. It's like an insurance program for the changing market conditions. And I highly believe that if you're not going to do this on your own, that it's a very solid investment in our company in order to do it for you, because I believe that this is the strongest marketing strategy that you can implement outside of having a great relationship and communicating every month with your past customers and going out and getting more referral partners in your business. This is the third leg on the table. And hands down, having a professional team taking care of it for you is a very wise investment. Builds your Google presence each month so you continue to grow with Google. Maybe I'll take that bullet point out for the next one. That's not that strong. Anyways, it gives you social proof and makes you the digital mayor badge that you can use in all of your other marketing and recruitment. #1 lender on Google. That's definitely worth it. Now, a regular investment in order to have all this set up is $5,000 up front and then $2,000 a month to manage it. That includes everything that we've discussed today. Now, I mentioned a discount. So you get a discount of $2,500 on the setup. So the $5,000 setup fee is dropped down to just $2,500 if you want to get started today. And then we're also taking $500 a month off of the monthly management. So it's $1,500 a month for the management of the program, less than a mortgage a month in order to run the whole thing. Now, I personally recommend an advertising budget of $1,000 a month on top of the management fee. So if you're spending $1,000 a month on advertising that goes direct to Google, that's run through your Google account, not our Google account, and the $1,500 a month fee, you're $2,500 a month. So if you're making $2,500 per deal, that means you do one deal, it covers the cost of the system. All of the other deals that you process in the month are profit in the business, which is a fantastic way to grow, especially to have this type of consumer direct control that you can turn up or turn down. I mean, I know mortgage lenders that are spending $10,000 a month buying Zillow leads that they're not even following up on because they're just doing it for the realtor referral relationship. When you look at this, it's like, wow, consumer direct, you get the consumer, you pre-approve the consumer, then you get to take that pre-approved deal and go get new realtor referral partners from it. I know a lot of realtors that would be more enticed by, hey, I have a pre-approved buyer, would you like to work with them? Than, hey, I'll give you X dollars to pay for leads that you're already not working, right? So this is a fantastic opportunity to go consumer direct, and the pricing is very aggressive. So you save $2,500 today. That's a $6,000 a year savings on the monthly. So a total savings, if you're with us for a year on the program, of $8,500 off the regular price. You can go to loansbyranking.com right now in order to take advantage of that discount and get started today. We have a full 100% money back guarantee for the first 30 days. So all of the risk is on us in the first 30 days. If for any reason you are not satisfied with your program in the first 30 days, we will give you 100% of your money back. We can't refund the advertising costs, but all of the money, the $2,500 setup fee, is back to you. If you, sorry, I'm not very good at the guarantee because it's super duper rare that we ever have one. But we have it there just in case, so that you can invest today and feel confident with it, that within the first 30 days, if for any reason you don't feel like this is right for you, you'll get all your money back, okay? So that also comes, it's a satisfaction guarantee. It's not a performance guarantee, right? So for any reason, if you're not happy within the first 30 days, you can cancel and you keep all of the work that we did for you. And so literally all of the risk is on us for you to get started today. Now I've got some testimonials here. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but this is our friend Mike, who I discussed earlier. In the first 6 months of the year, he closed 34 new deals as a result of the marketing system that we set up for him. And he hasn't even launched his database marketing system yet, which is pretty cool. Every 34 new deals doesn't hurt, right? This is Adam. Well, you know what? It only takes a minute. This is Adam. We'll try and get the audio here for you. I know this might be a little bit rough, but we'll go over it.
Hey, Adam Crosley. Just wanted to shoot a quick little testimonial video about Connect My Leads. Just put 27 people through the Database Activator program earlier this week. Got 6 deals live this week. Absolutely awesome. If you're on the fence, highly, highly, highly recommend what Chris has built here. Absolutely awesome. Thank you, guys. Bye.
So hopefully you heard that okay, but 6 deals just as a result of running the Database Activator to less than 50 people in his past customer database. Now, Adam is a phenomenal mortgage professional and has a great relationship with his past customer database. So I think he got better results than most would experience because he already had a relationship with them. But even if we're going in on a cold list, you know you're going to get results, and that pays for the investment in the program. Here's another one from our friend Nick. We're extremely happy with our campaigns with Connection Incorporated. We track every deal we close back to the initial lead source, and we are significantly profitable every month. Nick owns if you're in the Canadian mortgage space, chances are you know who Nick is. Very successful mortgage lender, and we help him with all of his digital marketing. So now is the investment time. This is where you head on over to loansbyranking.com and invest if you feel like this is right for you. So let's do the math. Even if we're running the program to do 30 calls a month, that's 1 call a day as a result of the program. That means that you would get 15 qualified leads, because roughly half of the conversations that you have are going to be like qualifiable people that are decent. Out of those 15, you close 5. At $2,500 a deal, that's $12,500 as a result of those deals that are coming through your system. It's only $2,500 today to get the system set up, and then $1,500 a month. You're taking full advantage of that discount. So why act today? Well, first off, there's the $8,500 discount if you stay with us for a year. That's pretty cool. But there's only 1 ad spot per market. And the more competition that finds out about this, the more the cost to run those ads and generate those leads goes up over time, right? So the more competitors that are buying that advertising space in your local marketplace, the more the costs are going to go up. And since I started talking about this in September of last year, we've already seen an uptick in the number of competitors in the mortgage space. I don't want to belabor this too much, but roughly 9 years ago, I was on the Canadian, so it used to be called the Canadian Association of Accredited Mortgage Professionals, back when it was called CAMP. They had me on their regional symposium circuit for 3 years in a row. The first year I was on that national speaking tour, I spoke about local Google traffic. Google had just gone local with their search engine. The map placement didn't have 3 businesses in it. They had 7 businesses in it. And I went across the country 3 times promoting the fact that Google was going to just take over local search and that you needed to start getting ratings and reviews for your mortgage business. And then I got to do another national speaking circuit across the United States, same message. I've had 3 large organizations within the US bring me to their national sales conferences and speak about digital marketing and getting ratings and reviews. And the competition in these local marketplaces, most of these large lenders that have 700 reviews, 800 reviews, 900 reviews have been to a presentation of mine. And whether they invested to be a customer or not, doesn't matter. And because to me, they got the result. They went out, they did the work, they implemented, they got it, right? So if somebody hears from me and goes out and is successful, that's amazing for me. That's what I want. I just want people to get this information, take action, and actually generate a result from it. That's what we're all about, right? Well, I'm at that moment again. I can feel that again with these ad slots in these local marketplaces, and the fact that Google's taking the inventory and shrinking it even more from 7 businesses down to 3 businesses. Now there's only 1 ad slot. What we have moving is this funnel that's getting smaller and smaller. So this opportunity window of being able to implement this in your business effectively and cost effectively, like right now, these ads are dirt cheap. Once Google figures out in the mortgage industry what a deal is worth, and they already know this, but they've got an algorithm, right? And it's optimizing like, okay, well, the spread that we have right now, Google's going to take that spread in advertising dollars, guaranteed. It's just like Amazon. When they find a profitable niche, they're just going to suck as much profit out of that as they can. They're not doing that yet. It's not that sophisticated. It's not that advanced yet, but they will. This is our opportunity. We might have a 2-year window. We might have a 3-year window. Who knows? We might have a 3-month window. I don't think so. But you've got, in my opinion, probably a couple of years where this is a heyday. And this is the opportunity to get in now and take as much of that heyday as you possibly can. Again, this ad placement on Google is really only 7 or 8 months old, right? So this is still getting in on the ground floor of a fantastic opportunity. The other reason you should invest today is you have deals sitting in your database right now. And they're either going to go find a mortgage lender elsewhere, like on the internet, or they're going to come do a deal with you. That person is going to run into somebody, and most likely ran into somebody over the holidays that was talking about buying a new house, right? Did you get that referral? Have you built a strong enough relationship with your database that every time they run into somebody at the local soccer game or the local Facebook group, and somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a real estate agent, do you have a strong enough relationship with your past customer database that your client was like, no, I don't know a real estate agent, but I got a mortgage lender you got to talk to. They can help you find a real estate agent. Here's their contact information. If you don't have that strong enough of a relationship with your database, the Database Activator is the first step in starting to build the relationship so that you can get those referrals in the future. And having the system set up, Connect My Lead software, in order to get that going is a phenomenal way to have that advantage in your business. This is the perfect reason to reach out and convert new real estate referral partners, and Google isn't going away. Somebody's going to be getting this business in the future, and it may as well be you. So with that, let's pop in, see if we have any Q&A here, and then head off on our days. Okay, so this is from Anonymous Attendee. That's a stellar name. Welcome. From the Power Dialer, do you have to purchase the additional program, or is that a different service we can purchase separately? Yes, so our Connect My Leads software is a standalone product. We package it together with this program, but if you go to connectmyleads.com, connectmyleads.com, you can order the software there. Again, that's purpose built for the mortgage industry. When you buy it there's no one-on-one setup, but we've got lots of incredible training resources on how to get that campaign or how to get that software set up in your business. And it does come preloaded with all of the campaigns that you need. You just need to customize them on your own. So you can head on over to connectmyleads.com in order to invest in the software today. So that's everything. I hope that you enjoyed the training. Let's get out there, get more deals from Google in our mortgage businesses. And I cannot wait to see you in the next training. Couple of housekeeping items. We just announced a new webinar schedule. So once a month for the next 12 months, we've already got all of the topics laid out, and they go sequentially to help you build the ultimate mortgage marketing machine in your business. So when we announce that next week, make sure you register for that series. Those webinars are going to be incredible. The second thing is we're about to launch a free report. It's a brand new report that our team has been working on for about a month on all of the different step-by-step things that you need in order to build the perfect mortgage marketing system in your business. So when we launch that, keep an eye out for that and make sure that you download that free report as well. As always, if you have any questions, our phone number is 855-432-3990. Give us a call. We're happy to answer any of your questions. You can also reach out to support@Connection Incorporated at any time. My name is Chris Johnstone. I'm the owner of Connection Incorporated. I would love it if you followed me on Facebook and Instagram so that I can share with you new business tips and new ways to grow your mortgage business as we find them. With that, hope you're having a great day. Peace and love, and I'll see you on the next event. See you, everybody.